Hi everyone, I'm Kevin Elson for Catholic Newsbreak. Here's what's going on this week. In the news, we begin with news from the Vatican. It has been confirmed that Pope Francis will participate in key World Youth Day events coming up in July in Rio de Janeiro. His involvement was announced by the chief organizer of papal trips during a recent visit to Rio de Janeiro, where events will take place from July 23rd through the 28th. Alberto Gaspari, the Vatican official who has worked on organizing papal trips since the pontificate of Blessed John Paul II, said in a statement released by the Brazilian Bishops' Conference April 24th that the event plans will be updated to fit the ideas and style of Pope Francis. Gaspari confirmed that Pope Francis would participate in the events traditionally presided over by the Pope, including a July 25th evening service at which the youth officially welcomed the Pope, the Way of the Cross service July 26th, the nighttime vigil July 27th, and the closing Mass July 28th. Jesuit Father Federico Lombardi, the Vatican spokesman, told reporters April 25th that the Brazil events and the probable visit to Assisi were the only trips on the Pope's schedule for the rest of 2013. More news now from the Vatican. People have been flocking to St. Peter's Square to hear Pope Francis speak during his general audience. This week he received a special gift from a young pilgrim and he spoke to the youth of the church. Rome Reports has more from St. Peter's Square.
It seems like Pope Francis beat his own record. Just 6 weeks after being elected, the number of people attending his general audience was more than 70,000. Locals, visitors, and tourists began arriving to St. Peter's Square about 2 hours before the Pope's general audience, all for a chance to get a good spot. The Pope made his way through his Pope-mobile, greeting pilgrims for about 20 minutes. Many were simply hoping to give the Pope a gift like this girl. The Pope thought she wanted him to bless the yellow rosary, but the young girl told him it was a gift for him. Among the thousands of people, the Pope made it a point to address the youth.
Nella piazza ho visto che ci sono molte giovani. È vero questo? Ci sono molti giovani? Dove ci sono? Bene.
Speaking in Spanish, the Pope invited the young crowd to discover their own personal talents and to use them to help others.
Queridos jóvenes, ¿han pensado en los talentos que Dios les ha dado? ¿Han pensado cómo ponerlos al servicio de los demás? No entierren esos talentos. La vida no se tiene para guardarla para uno mismo, se tiene para entregarla.
And as part of his catechesis on the Year of Faith, the Pope focused on the Creed, more specifically on the final judgment.
No se conoce ni el día ni la hora del regreso de Cristo. Lo que se pide es estar preparados para el encuentro, que significa saber ver los signos de su presencia, tener viva la fe con la oración y los sacramentos. Se trata de ser vigilantes para no dormirnos. No queremos cristianos dormidos. Ser vigilantes para no olvidarnos de Dios.
Among those attending the audience was a group of pilgrims from Vietnam. The group traveled to Rome with Cardinal Jean-Baptiste Pham Minh Man, and interestingly, the Pope kissed the cardinal's ring as a sign of support, since Christians in that part of the world are sometimes targets of religious persecution.
One other note from the Vatican: while the Catholic Catechism teaches that God created man to share in his own blessed life, the Church still considers the scientific investigation of the origins of humanity to be a valuable contribution to human knowledge. The Pontifical Academy of Sciences recently brought together evolutionary biologists, paleoanthropologists, archaeologists, neuroscientists, theologians, and philosophers to discuss the major physical and cultural changes that occurred during mankind's evolution. The working group on the emergence of the human being met April 19th through the 21st to discuss topics such as the mastery and use of fire, the beginning of burial and funeral rites, and the emergence of language, culture, and conscience. Bishop Marcelo Sanchez Sorondo is the Science Academy's chancellor. He told the group that scientific truths are part of divine truth and can help philosophy and theology understand ever more fully the human person. He said the evolutionary laws of hereditary and genetic mutation pose no conflict to the Catholic faith and offer a biological explanation for the development of species on Earth. However, he said, the beginning of the universe is not a mutation. God is the first cause of creation and being. Monsignor Fiorenzo Faccini, an anthropologist and paleontologist, said that people should picture humans not as descending from the apes, but rather as ascending from the animal kingdom to a higher level, thanks to the hand of God. And finally in the news, Archbishop Thomas Wenski of Miami says the growing movement in support of same-sex marriage will redefine marriage as existing solely for the gratification of two adults rather than for the creation of life. In his homily during the annual Red Mass, the Archbishop argued to the members of the Catholic Lawyers Guild that traditional marriage recognizes the sexual difference between man and women, and that social policy has long supported such marriages because they provide the best conditions for raising children. He stressed the difference between natural law and man-made law, saying that in recent decades, American law has moved away from its Judeo-Christian roots to truth that is based on one's own will. He called on judges and attorneys to recall the example of St. Thomas More, the patron saint of lawyers and political leaders, and to seek his prayers. Well, that is all the information we have for you at this time. Please stay with Catholic TV for more Catholic news. Until then, I'm Kevin Nelson, and I'll see you next time on Catholic Newsbreak.